Today we discuss how to study Indian economy for UPSC Civil Services Preliminary and Mains General Studies Paper 3. Study Indian economy prelims cum mains point of view. Next syllabus. Indian economy prelims cum mains. Our classroom course syllabus. Indian economy for UPSC Civil Services Preliminary and Mains General Studies Paper 3. Syllabus. First, origin of economics, definition of economics, basic principles of economics, rationality, equilibrium, ceteris paribus, etc. Core values of economics, economics and ethics, Indian economy, contributions of Dadabhai Naoroji, father of Indian economy. Second area, Indian economy from 1600 AD to 1947. That is Indian economy under British rule. Here we study the economic policies implemented by Britishers here in India. Consequences, the forms of colonial exploitation, outcomes, land system prevailed in India, commercialization of Indian agriculture, Indian economy on the eve of independence. In 1600 AD, India was one of the richest regions in the world. In 1600 AD, India accounted 28% of world total wealth. By 1947, India's share in global wealth became below 1%. Britishers economically exploited India at its maximum extent. The condition of Indian economy on the eve of independence we have to study in detail. Next, third area of your syllabus, Indian economy from 1947 to 1990. Indian economy pre-liberalization era. Economic policies implemented by Government of India. We will examine Indian economy in detail. The period covering 1947 to 1990. Indian economy came under great crisis in 1990. The great crisis of 90s. India's foreign exchange reserve became below 1 billion. This was sufficient to meet only 2 weeks import requirements. BOP crisis. Worsened current account deficit. Inflation reached at peak level, more than 24% inflation. We faced imported inflation. Political uncertainty at the center. So Indian economy came under great crisis in 1990. Next, fourth area of your syllabus, Indian economy since 1991. That is Indian economy post-liberalization era. Indian economy under new economic policy. By new economic policy we mean liberalization, privatization and globalization. By liberalization we mean single window clearance system, easy of doing business, removing red tapeism, delivery of government services at the fastest level, reducing delay in government services at the doorstep of the people and the industry, reducing delay in government services. This way we can define liberalization. Next, privatization. By privatization we mean disinvestment. By disinvestment we mean sale of government companies ownership, sale of PSUs, Then globalization. By globalization we mean globe as a single village. So here we study Indian economy from 1991 to present. The present economic policies, the current economic development process of Indian economy. Next, fifth area, basic economic terms. In our class, we will discuss more than 500 basic economic terms. We will connect basic economic terms with current economic developments, current economic policies, etc. All should know the basics of economics. Especially civil servants should know the basics of economics. If you know basics of economics, you can really enjoy economy related topics from the Hindu newspaper. Next, sixth area, different economic systems. Capitalist economic system, classical, capitalist, market-based economic system, Keynesian economic system. Keynesian economic system giving more importance to government in economic activities, centralized economic system, mixed economic system, new economic policy. So here we discuss economic thought in detail. Here we discuss the different economic system reviled globally from UPSC CSE GS point of view. Next, seventh area, national income, measurement of national income, methods of national income calculation, basic terms like GDP, NNP, GNP, etc. National income calculation in India, difficulties in measuring national income in India, current national income trends. Next, eighth topic, economic growth and economic development. Difference between economic growth and economic development. Structural change of an economy, process of economic development, basic theories connected with the economic developments. All should know basic theories connected with the economic development, because these two words are familiar with us, economic growth and economic development. We aim to achieve, to speed up growth and development process of Indian economy. India, the fastest growing developing economy in the world. Structural change of Indian economy. Next, ninth area, economic planning in India. Different plans, 5-year plans, rolling plan, indicative plan, imperative plan, centralized plan, annual plan, Gandhian plan, Nehruvian plan, people's plan, etc. We will discuss 5-year plans in India. 12 5-year plans we implemented from 1950 to 2017. Rolling plan we implemented here in India. Morarji Desai government implemented rolling plan. We implemented annual plans between 1966 to 1969. We implemented annual plan. Plan holiday. Again in 1990 we implemented annual plan in India. In 1991, 91, 92. Clear? So Indian economy under planned economic development process from 1950 to 1990 we give more importance to centralized planning in India. From 1992 we started to give more importance to indicative planning. Under indicative planning, government is giving more space for private players in economic activities. Projects are implemented with the private participation under indicative plan. You know public-private partnership, BOT, BOOT, etc. So we have to discuss economic planning in detail. Next, 10th area, macroeconomic stability. Macroeconomic stability of Indian economy. Basics. We apply two policies to achieve macroeconomic stability of an economy: fiscal policy and monetary policy. By fiscal policy, we mean policy of central government in an economy in the forms of taxation or revenue policy, public expenditure policy, budgetary policy, and public debt policy. By monetary policy, we mean policy of central monetary authority of an economy. We apply these two policies to achieve macroeconomic stability of an economy. So macroeconomic stability highly significant, especially from government side. So you are going to become part of government. So you should know fiscal policy in detail. Next area, 11th area, taxation policy. Taxation policy of Government of India. Here we discuss basics of taxation, basic principles of taxation, different taxes, different tax mechanism, different tax regimes, progressive taxation, regressive taxation, proportional taxation, different types of different taxes, direct taxes, indirect taxes. Direct taxes are progressive in nature. Indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Tax reforms in India. Tax GDP ratio. GST related topics. Direct tax code. Next, 12th area, expenditure policy of Government of India. Public expenditure policy. Types of public expenditure: plan expenditure, non-plan expenditure. Steps to minimize government expenditure. Steps to minimize non-plan expenditure. So here civil servants should know more about Keynesian economics. According to Keynes, government expenditure should be productive in nature. It should create real income and productive employment in an economy. Next topic, 13. Next 13th topic, budget. Government budgeting. Basics. Revenue account. Under revenue account, revenue receipts, revenue expenditures, capital account. Under capital account, capital receipts, capital expenditure, balanced budgets, budget deficits, budget deficits, fiscal deficits, revenue deficits, primary deficits, etc. Budget system in India, Indian budget system, annual budgeting, performance budgets, gender budgets, etc. We have to study. Steps to minimize budget deficits, fiscal responsibility and budget management, FRBM Act, fiscal federalism, Finance Commission, Center-State Economic Relations. Latest Finance Commission we have to study. Formula of Finance Commission. Next 14th area, government debt policy, public debt, nature of public debt, reasons for increasing public debt, consequences of public debt, sovereign debt crisis, debt management, internal debt and external debt, debt management, Next, 15th area, money and banking. Basics of money and banking. Money supply, demand for money, supply of money, money supply management, measurement of money supply, M1, M2, M3, M4, narrow money, broad money, liquidity, Indian money markets, velocity of circulation of money, value of money, purchasing power of money, currency system, face value of currency, intrinsic value of currency, etc. Really interesting area. Next, 16th area, Indian banking system, monetary policy in India, role and functions of RBI, organized and unorganized money markets. Monetary policy instruments used by RBI to manage money supply, application of bank rate, cash reserve ratio, repo rate, reverse repo rate, marginal standing facility, etc. Long-term money markets, short-term money markets, very short-term money markets, treasury market in India, commercial banking system in India, non-banking financial intermediaries. We have to study all these. Indian money market, we have to study in detail. Really interesting area. Next topic, 17th topic, inflation. Basics. Inflation and economic growth. Effects of inflation on different sectors of economy, causes of inflation, steps to minimize inflation, inflation and economic growth. Mild inflation is good for economy. Measurement of inflation, WPI, wholesale price index, consumer price index, etc. Effects of inflation on different sectors of Indian economy. Next, 18th area, Indian capital markets, Indian stock markets, primary part of stock markets, primary markets, operation of primary markets, IPO, initial public offers, IPO, FPO, private placements, role of underwriters in primary markets, secondary markets, speculation, speculators, bulls, bears, Bombay Stock Exchange, BSE, Sensex. Sensex is the pulse of Indian economy. NSE, National Stock Exchange, Nifty 50, Nifty Junior, SEBI and Indian capital market reforms in India. Participants of capital markets, instruments of capital markets, shares, equity shares, bonds, debentures, derivatives like futures, options, swaps, latest instruments of capital markets. So we will study Indian capital market in detail, clearing all your doubts. Next topic, 19th, balance of payments, BOP, BOT, basics of balance of payments, current account of BOP, capital account of BOP, deficits, surplus BOP, current account deficits, India's balance of payments. Really interesting area. We can expect simple tricky questions from balance of payments, money markets, inflation, exchange rate, etc. Really enjoyable questions, really interesting questions we can expect from these areas. Next, 20th area, international trade and Indian economy. Trade as an engine of India's economic growth and development. Basic theories of international trade. Latest foreign trade policy of Government of India. Trade relations, trade agreements of Government of India. Free trade agreements. Preferential trade agreements. Customs union. Economic integration. Trade blocs. European Union. ASEAN. SAFTA. NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreements, Mercosur, etc. Next, WTO and Indian economy, area 21. Different rounds of WTO. WTO and India issues. Agreements, different agreements. Agreement on agriculture. Topics like market access, subsidy, labor issues, intellectual property rights. Next topic, exchange rate. Fixed exchange rate regime, flexible or floating exchange rate system, managed floating exchange rate regime, India's exchange rate system. Effects of rupee appreciation and depreciation on different sectors of Indian economy. Effects of rupee appreciation and depreciation on domestic inflation. Next area 23, convertibility. Here we study current account convertibility, capital account convertibility, capital account convertibility and investment flow. Clear. Importance of capital account convertibility. Implementation of capital account convertibility in India. Outcomes from the implementation of capital account convertibility. Merits and demerits of capital account convertibility. Southeast Asian crisis, etc. Tadapur Committee on Convertibility. Tadapur recommendations. Suggestions made by Tadapur Committee on convertibility, on capital account convertibility. Outcomes from the implementation of capital account convertibility in India. Next, 24th area, international economic organizations. Here we study IMF, World Bank, Bretton Woods, other international organizations like ADB, New Development Banks, etc. Reconstruction of IMF and World Bank from BRICS economies point of view. India at IMF, voting rights, IMF budget share, IMF currency, SDR. We maintain SDR in our forex box. Our forex box is filled with the SDR, gold and US dollar. Next, 25th area, new economic policy. By new economic policy we mean liberalization, privatization, globalization. New economic policy originated from new classical economic system. In India, we implemented new economic policy in 1991. In China, new economic policy implemented in 1978. By late 1970s, President Reagan implemented new economic policy in USA. You know Reaganomics. By late 1970s, Margaret Thatcher implemented new economic policy in UK, United Kingdom. Nowadays, most of the economies in the world implementing new economic policy. Next area, 26 sectors of Indian economy. Primary sector. By primary sector we mean agriculture, animal husbandry, fishing, etc. Here we discuss agriculture in detail, role and significance of agriculture in Indian economy, share of agriculture to GDP and employment, Green Revolution, Second Green Revolution, food processing industry, food processing in India, irrigation, supply chain management, food subsidy, agricultural subsidy, Indian agriculture and WTO. Next area 27, Indian industry. Big industries, small scale industries, medium industries classification. Role and significance of small scale industries in India. Industrialization process of India. Importance of secondary sector in India. Infrastructure. Industrial models. Significance of make in India, skill in India. We have to give maximum importance to secondary sector. By secondary sector we mean industry and manufacturing. Next 28th area, service sector. India as a service economy, India as a knowledge economy. Service led growth in India after 1991. Merits and demerits of service led growth. IT and IT enabled services. Contribution of service sector to GDP and employment. Service sector as an engine of India's economic growth. Next, poverty, area 29. Absolute poverty, relative poverty, classification of poverty, APL, BPL classification, reasons for poverty, government policies related to poverty alleviation, etc. Next, unemployment, area 30. Types of unemployment, seasonal unemployment, cyclical unemployment, disguised unemployment, etc. Nature of India's unemployment, steps to minimize unemployment in India. Next, area 31, inequality, nature of inequality in India, reasons for inequality, steps to minimize inequality, corporate social responsibility act, basic theories connected with the inequality, measurement of inequality, Lorentz curve, Gini coefficient, inequality in post-reform era. Next, area 32, population. Population asset or liability. India, most populous country in the world. Demographic dividends. Basic theories connected with the population. Malthusian theory of population, theory of demographic transition. Latest census of government of India. We have to study. Next, area 33, welfare economics. Basics of welfare economics, measurement of welfare, welfare indices, human development index, latest report, physical quality of life index. Amartya Sen's views on welfare, steps to increase welfare, and other bases connected with the welfare economics. Next, area 34, environmental economics. You know, environment and economy directly connected. Basics of environmental economics. Environmental degradation, sustainable development, resources, renewable resources and non-renewable resources, environmental taxes, externalities, external economies and external diseconomies. We will discuss environmental economics only from GS point of view. Next area 35, Indian economy current affairs. In our class we will discuss last 1 year current affairs for UPSC, civil services, preliminary and main examination. Next economic survey. In our class we will discuss current economic survey of Government of India and previous year economic survey in detail. Next area union budgets. We will discuss current year union budget and previous year union budget in detail. I will give detailed notes covering all points from economic survey of Government of India and union budgets. Next, the economy syllabus given by UPSC for preliminary examination. Economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives, etc. Limited syllabus only given by UPSC for preliminary examination. Next, syllabus given by UPSC for CSE Mains General Studies Paper 3. Indian economy, issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development and employment, inclusive growth and issues arising from it, government budgeting, major crops and cropping patterns in various parts of the country, different types of irrigation and irrigation systems, storage, transport and marketing of agricultural produce, and issues and related constraints, e-technology in the aid of farmers, issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support prices, public distribution system, objectives, functioning, limitations, revamping, issues of buffer stocks and food security. Technology missions, economics of animal rearing, food processing and related industries in India, scope and significance, location, upstream and downstream requirements, supply chain management, land reforms in India, effects of liberalization on the economy, changes in industrial policy and their effects on industrial growth, infrastructure, energy, ports, airports, railways, etc. Investment models. This is the given syllabus for CSE Mains General Studies Paper 3 given by UPSC. In our class we will discuss basics of economics, complete economic syllabus given by UPSC for preliminary and mains General Studies Paper 3, syllabus related topics, economic survey of Government of India, union budget, economy current affairs topics, Indian economy current affairs. All these topics we will discuss in our class, clearing all your doubts. Next, model exams for preliminary examination, covering all topics, covering all Indian economy related topics. Next, mock test for mains General Studies Paper 3, Indian economy, based on UPSC question paper specific instructions with a detailed discussion. Mock test series for CSE Mains GS Paper 3, covering complete syllabus topics, Indian economy, Mains GS Paper 3, basics of economics, applied side of economics, current economic developments related topics, current economic developments, and Indian economy current affairs. This is our Indian economy prelims cum mains classroom course syllabus. This way we will discuss this. In this order we will discuss all topics in our class in detail, clearing all your doubts. Next, reference books for Indian economy, UPSC CSE preliminary and mains GS paper 3. First reference book, Indian economic development, NCERT 11th standard. Second reference, Evolution of Indian Economy, NCERT 11th standard old edition. Reference book number 3, Introductory Macroeconomics, NCERT 12th standard. Fourth reference, Introductory Microeconomics, NCERT 12th standard. Only read basic topics like demand, supply, etc. In our class we will cover all these books. Next, fifth reference, Economic Survey of Government of India. In our class we will discuss in detail. Next, sixth reference, Union Budget. In our class we will discuss current year budget and previous year union budget. Next, seventh, Government of India economy related websites. Website of Ministry of Finance, Government of India, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Commerce. Then website of RBI, website of WTO, World Bank, IMF, UNDP, etc. Next, Yojana. Read Yojana in detail. Next reference book, Indian Economy by Sukail, Sulthan, an essential handbook for UPSC Civil Services preliminary and main examination. My book. Yes, this book is available here. Okay, Indian Economy by Sukail, Sulthan, an essential handbook for UPSC Civil Services preliminary and main examination. Yes, here we cover complete Indian economy syllabus for UPSC CSE preliminary and mains general studies paper 3. Read this book in detail. Point wise presentation. Clear. Next, the Hindu newspaper. Read the economy related topics from the Hindu newspaper. If you have time, you can read Economic Times newspaper. Only read syllabus related topics from the Hindu newspaper and Economic Times. In our class, we will discuss basics of economics, complete Indian economy syllabus for preliminary and mains general studies paper 3, syllabus related topics, economic survey government of India, union budget, current economic developments, Indian economy current affairs. We will discuss these topics in detail, clearing all your doubts. Our classes will be highly interactive in nature. You can ask any doubts in my class. All doubts will be cleared from UPSC CSE point of view. So I am giving maximum importance for my students. You can ask any doubts in class. Classroom is the best platform to clear all your doubts and sharpen your views. In our class, we will discuss basics of economics, Indian economy, complete syllabus topics for preliminary and mains GS paper 3, syllabus related topics, expected topics, economic survey, government of India, current union budgets, current economic developments, Indian economy, current affairs topics, clearing all your doubts. In our class, I will give detailed notes covering complete syllabus areas. Revise my class notes. After my class, you will be in a position to answer all economy related questions in upcoming UPSC Civil Services preliminary and main examination.